Well, I'm not doing too well, guys. Things are getting worse and worse in a lot of ways. First, it was the Online Safety Act and all the lockdown shit and all that. And now they're bringing, like, Starmer's, like, I'm bringing digital ID. Like, fuck that shit. Do not comply. I'm not getting a digital ID. And he's specifically using it. He's using it, like, with right-wing talking points to placate right-wingers. Like when he did the think of the children thing to bring in the Online Safety Act. Now he's like, oh, think of the immigration thing to bring in digital ID, which is just like insane socialist control, 1984 style, coming down from Tony Blair. Oh, God. Probably, I think, Klaus Schwab is probably still behind it all. That's just my view. I don't think Klaus Schwab has stepped down from the World Economic Forum was actually a thing, to be honest. This continuation of the push they did when they did lockdowns. Anyway, I will not comply. You should not comply. Yeah, they made it. He's making it specifically to target people's right to work. Although I did see in the wording it's people's right to work and live in the UK. But it's like, no, it's coercive. It's like the vaccine thing. Like masks or the vaccine. You need this to work. You need this to live. And I'm not getting it. I'm currently out looking for a new workplace and changing my job. So hopefully I can get into somewhere before the shit hits the fan and he brings that directly in, saying you need the ID to be admitted into a job. Hopefully I'm in the job before then. And then it's a question of, like, I suppose they're going to try and fine you or fire you or do lots of other ugly things to you if you don't have the ID while you're working in a job. And also, hopefully, I know I'm not going to comply. Hopefully there'll be enough employers, like business owners, who are also not going to comply, and I've got to link up with those people. I've got to find those people, find out where they are, and apply for jobs with them, because they are based and they are against all this communism shit that is just floating around, trying to dig into us all right now. Is this hell we're living in? You know, I keep asking myself, was I born into the wrong decade or the wrong century? Probably. I would have been way more happy being born into, even though there's a lot of horrible shit that happened in the 20th century, I would have been so much happier being born into, like, the time when my parents lived and stuff, because none of this shit was happening. There was other shit happening, and there was shit that restricted freedoms, you know, but nothing as bad as this. This is just like straight out of Soviet Russia, just transplanted onto Britain 2020, just 2020 onwards. Man, what the fuck? I hope people get enough bravery to start actually acting directly against what's going on. More bravery than we saw during lockdowns. Just stand the fuck up against this stuff. I don't mean protests, I mean to stand up against it. And I'll join in with that if it comes about. But we didn't see enough bravery. There was some bravery going on during the time of lockdown, but there wasn't enough of it. And we got to see a lot more of it. And get rid of all this somehow. All this far left extremism that's taken over the world, which is now also coming partially from the right, if you haven't noticed already. The socialism's not coming from only the left now, it's also coming from the right. So I feel so much better that I became a libertarian or anarchist. I feel more vindicated than ever that I chose the centre way that wasn't either of those and was just against whatever the state decided to do. Currently the state's just manufacturing thing after thing after thing that I have to ignore and say that I'm not taking part in. And it's starting to get ridiculous now. Good luck to you all if you're in a similar boat to me. Thank you for watching.